The deception of Isabelle. In just 5 years, she managed to turn a household upside down, deceiving everyone around her. Imagine living with a woman who could shift the balance in an instant, transforming from a demon to an innocent angel whenever she pleased. In 2018, a shocking crime shook a small village in northern France. But to understand the story fully, we must go back to the beginning of the story. That quiet village lived Madame Bernadette, an 85-year-old woman. Decades ago, she had married in that very house and had 3 sons. Husband passed away over 15 years ago, in 2003, leaving her in the care of her son Louis, while her other 2 sons worked abroad in Belgium. Madame Bernadette was known for her kindness and devotion, beloved by everyone in the village. As for Louis, he had decided to sacrifice his personal life for the sake of his mother, refusing to marry, especially after discovering he was unable to have children. The years passed until, in 2013, Louis found a promising business opportunity in Paris. Though excited, he knew he needed someone to care for his mother while he was away. That's when he decided to marry. He met Isabelle, a 45-year-old divorcee who, like him, could not have children. Their circumstances were similar, so he agreed to marry her, and she promised to take good care of his mother. Madame Bernadette was happy for him and prayed for his happiness. But little did Louis know, this marriage would turn his world upside down. Isabelle enters the house. Isabelle moved into Louis's home, settling on the ground floor while Madame Bernadette remained upstairs. From the very first moment, the old woman felt uneasy about Isabelle, though there was no clear reason why. Only 10 days after their wedding, Louis traveled to Paris to start his business. First, Isabelle treated Madame Bernadette kindly, but only within fixed hours. After that, she would retreat to her apartment and only check on her at scheduled times. Throughout the year, Louis visited his mother only twice for brief periods. When he asked about Isabelle, Bernadette told him she was treating her well, even though, in reality, she was suffering from her cruelty. But she chose silence, not wanting to create problems for her son. However, Isabelle was no ordinary woman. She was an expert at controlling men, mastering the art of manipulation. The beginning of the downfall. Not long after, Isabelle started forming suspicious friendships with some local women. They would gather at her house every night until 3 in the morning. Laughter, gossip, and inappropriate conversations filled the place. Madame Bernadette noticed these strange behaviors and asked Isabelle to keep things quieter. But Isabelle coldly responded, "This is my house too, and I'll do as I please." Sensing that the old woman might complain to Louis, Isabelle took the initiative, calling him before his next visit. She told him his mother was showing signs of dementia, imagining things that weren't real. When Louis returned home, instead of confronting Isabelle, he asked his mother not to interfere in their lives. Just like that, Isabelle had taken full control. The house turns into a den of corruption. As time passed, Isabelle decided to take things to the next level. She selected 5 of her closest friends, 3 of whom agreed to turn the house into a secret brothel, entertaining men whenever Louis was away. The house had always been known for its good reputation, making it the perfect place to conduct these activities without suspicion. Meanwhile, Madame Bernadette began noticing loud music and laughter at odd hours. She knew something was terribly wrong. The devil's plan. When Isabelle realized that Bernadette might discover the truth, she decided to get rid of her. She knew the elderly woman kept $8,000 and some gold jewelry in her wardrobe, an opportunity too tempting to resist. But simply stealing wasn't enough. She had to ensure Bernadette wouldn't be able to expose her. Teaming up with one of her closest friends, Isabelle waited for the perfect night. As Bernadette slept peacefully, they crept into her room and strangled her to death. After making sure she was gone, they stole the money and jewelry. To cover their tracks, they poured gasoline around the room and set it on fire, believing the flames would erase all evidence. An hour later, Isabelle stood among the villagers, crying hysterically, claiming she had been out when the fire broke out due to her mother-in-law's carelessness in the kitchen. The truth unfolds. When the firefighters arrived, they quickly determined that the fire was intentional. Investigators later discovered that Bernadette had been strangled before the fire started. Suspicions began to circle around Isabelle, especially when the neighbors revealed the immoral activities happening in the house. As the investigation tightened, Isabelle tried to shift the blame onto her friend, claiming she had nothing to do with the crime. But under interrogation, the friend confessed everything, exposing Isabelle. Eventually, Isabelle broke down and admitted her guilt. Justice is served. In the end, both Isabelle and her accomplice were sentenced to death. As for Louis, he lived the rest of his life in shock, unable to comprehend that his mother had only been trying to protect him, while he had chosen to believe the woman who destroyed everything. Conclusion. No mother in this world ever seeks to harm her child. Some people possess a devilish talent for deception, and the result? A tragedy that could have been avoided. If only the son had listened to his mother from the start,